Hey everybody, and in this video today we're going to be doing another deck profile on the overdress format or D format of Vanguard, and in this video we're going to be talking about Keter Sanctuary. This deck is very unique because it plays an insane amount of grade 3s. It has a lot of potential as far as what it can do in the future. It's very rush heavy. It's swings big numbers, has the ability to stand rear guards. It's a very promising deck given we only have one set to play with right now. But I am rather impressed with it, and I can't wait to see where this deck goes in the future. So let's just jump straight into this. So the one thing I find real funny about this deck in general is how many grade 3s it plays, and it reminds me a little bit of Morikawa. So if Morikawa shows up in the overdress anime, which I don't think he will, but if he did, it'd be pretty funny because he would really love this deck. So starting with the ride deck, we play Knight of Heavenly Bow base. So he's just our starting Vanguard. You go second, draw a card. Whoopee. Our grade 1, we play one copy of Knight of Heavenly Sword Fort. So Fort's ability is when this unit is rode upon by the grade 2, you can reveal 2 grade 3s from your hand, and then look at the top card of your deck. If it is a unit, call it to the field. If not, put it in the drop zone. And then he has another skill where you can counterblast 1 if he's on the rear guard to give one of your grade 3 Vanguards plus 5k until end of turn. However, we do not play him in the main board. This is the only copy we play. As is, we only play one copy of Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks. Rooks, his first ability is when he's rode upon by Bastion, or the grade 3, you get to if you can reveal 3 different grade 3 units from your hand, you get to draw a card, which will usually always happen because we play an insane amount of grade 3s in this deck. And then his other skill is if you have 3 grade 3s on the field, he gains 5k and boost. I tried to find a way to try and still play him, just simply for the fact that he can boost for 15, but there's just not the space, so he's literally just a 1 copy as well. And then we play 1 copy of Apex Ruler Bastion for the ride deck. So Bastion's effects are 1, continuous during your turn. All grade 3 units you get you have gain plus 2,000 power, so they do get a little bit stronger. That's nice. And then during at the end of the battle that your drive check reveals a grade 3 unit, you can discard a card from your hand and choose one of your rear guards and stand it, and then it gets plus 10,000 power. So Bastion, you're usually always gonna. Well, actually, with as many grade 3s as you have in this deck, I'd be really surprised if that skill isn't activated every single turn. But so we only play 1 copy of all of these cards, except we play 4 copies of Bastion, obviously. But so we'll start with the triggers. We play 1 copy of the Over trigger, which is Light Dragon, Deity of Honors, Arma to Noah. So Arma to Noah, she, I think it's a she, but who knows. So obviously it's an over trigger, so when it's revealed, you get to draw a card, give 100 million power to 1 unit, and heal a damage. But if it's then checked as a drive trigger, until end of turn, all of your you also perform drive checks when your rear guards attack. So that's pretty amazing, for this deck. So if you can check this on a turn when you're trying to go for game, it'll really help you. Then we play 8 crits. In this deck, we actually play 3 front trigger because we do have ways that we draw in this deck, and considering our front line is, pretty much, this is just a pure aggro aggressive deck. We want to, have as many chances to increase that front line's power as much as possible. So we play front triggers, and then obviously we play our 4 heal triggers. So that is our trigger lineup. For our grade 1s, we only play 6, and the first one is our Aegis Mare Dragon. This is the Keter Sanctuary Perfect Guard from set 1. where when you activate it, if you have less than 2 cards in your hand when you play it, you do not have to discard a card from your hand to activate it. So it's has that added in bonus from the trial deck Perfect Guards, where you always have to discard. These you don't. And then we play 2 copies of Painkiller Angel. So Painkiller Angel, on the rear guard, at the end of the battle that she boosts, you can Soul Blast 1 to retire her and draw a card. So she's here mainly if you do need to dig a little bit. She's there. To be honest, after I got the deck pretty much put together, I had these 2 slots, and I really didn't know what to put in there, so I put her in. She's not bad, you know. I mean, she gets you a card, so she'll help you refill your field and help you dig for the great 3s that you want, or possibly draw a card that you're missing for your combos or your setup or whatever. So there's that. For grade 2s, that's the only one we play. The only grade 2 in the entire deck is the one in the ride deck. Everything else in this deck is a grade 3. So we got a lot to cover. So and the quickest one that we'll cover is we play 3 copies of Bastion. We already covered Bastion, so he's in here for the Persona ride. Next we play 4 copies of this guy from the set 1, Grand Heavenly Sword, Aiden. So Aiden is, he's a very good card. When this unit is placed in the rear guard, you get to Counterblast 2 and Soul Blast 1, and then choose a card from your hand and call it to the rear guard. If it's a grade 3, you get to draw 2 cards. So he's a Pot of Greed. And then when he attacks, if you have 3 or more grade 3 units, he gains +5. So he will, if he's in the, let's see, during your turn with Bastion, all your grade 3 units get +2. So he'll be at 15. So he'll be at least a 20k attacker by himself, so that's really good. So there's that. Next, we have another grade 3 from set 1 that's really, really good. And that is 4 copies of Knight of War Damage Fasado. Fasado, when he's on the rear guard, he can't be chosen by your opponent's card effects. So he can't be touched by retire effects through Dragon Empire. He can't be put in a prison. He's very good. He can only die by basically being attacked. And then his other skill is when this unit's attack hits, you get to countercharge 1 and soul charge 1. So you get to get some of your resources back so you can use them again. So he is, in my opinion, he is a must. He's a must at 4 in this deck. Next, we play 4 copies of Knight of Broadaxe Rafluke. Rafluke, he's very simple. On the rear guard, you can move him into your soul to select one of your grade 3 rear guards and give it +10k until end of turn. So he, if you can pretty much select something like your Fasado or maybe Aiden and just give him an extra 10k if you're planning on, that's the rear guard you're wanting to restand with Bastion if you crack his skill during your drive checks. So that's really good. Next, we play 4 copies of Actual Analyst Coca-Beal. Coca-Beal's effect is if your Vanguard is Bastion, she gains +5,000 shield for every 2 grade 3s that you have. So if you have 4 grade 3s on the field, she's a 10k shield. If you have 6 grade 3s on the field, she's a 15k shield. So the one thing this deck does lack is defense, so that's why she's here. So there's that. Next, we play 3 copies of Dark Strain Dragon. Dark Strain Dragon is he's basically another way to boost. When he's on the rear guard, if you have 3 or more grade 3 units, you can Soul Blast 2, and all of your grade 3 units will gain boost until end of turn. So you can use him to essentially give your entire back row of grade 3s that you most likely will have at some point sooner rather than later, and give them boosts. So you can like have Aiden in the front, and you can have this behind him, and he'll get 5 from him, 2 from him, and then boost for 13. So he'd be a 33k swinger. On Persona Ride, he'd be 43, and then if he restood with Bastion, he'd be 53. So he really is just here to add more power, more pressure, and force more cards out of your opponent's hand. And then finally, for the last 2 cards of the deck, we play 2 copies of the normal order, Downswing of Sword of Judgment. This card is, you play it with a Soul Blast of 1, grade 3. So you have to have at least Persona Road at least once, or have a grade 3 in there from Soul Charging. So you get to choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and then your opponent puts all of their rear guards in the same column as that rear guard on the bottom of their deck. So you can use this to mess with your opponent's field, especially if they have a card that says can't be targeted with effects, because you can target the other unit in that column, and then it will take out the entire column. So this is a really good card at 2, in my opinion. If you really didn't want to play Painkiller Angel, you could literally cut both of these for just 2 more copies of this, and then literally your deck would be nothing but triggers, 4 perfects, and grade 3s. So you do have that option, but I don't think 4 of this is necessary. I can see 3, but I just don't see 4. I just don't see it. But so that is the deck. It's pretty straightforward because there's really only one point, and it's building your field where you can swing just as big as you can every turn. And Bastion, with his ability to restand rear guards, you're going to, more times than not, have at least 4 attacks in a turn. So that's pretty much it, guys. Bastion's a lot of fun to play. Keter Sanctuary, I think this deck has a lot of potential for the future. It's nice to see that they did something more than besides just have like the same basic unit that kind of acts like Alfred. So I'll be interested to see where Bastion goes from here. I really enjoy, I cannot remember the name of the character that plays Keter Sanctuary in the anime, but I really enjoyed his episode where he wrestled with the decision of whether or not it's okay to play card games once you get older, which I think applies to a lot of us because we all love playing card games and grew up with them, and they just become kind of a part of our life. So it was a really good episode. If you haven't checked out the Overdress anime, I please plead with you to do so. I will admit the first episode or 2 is a little meh, but it really picks up around episode 3 or 4 and really becomes a very good, promising addition to the Vanguard timeline, I guess you could say. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have anything you want to add or suggestions or questions or anything, please feel free to put them below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So I hope you guys are doing good wherever you are, and you're safe and you're healthy. So do me a favor and leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you already haven't. Please remember, we do have a chat group on Telegram called Shinaki's Friends. You are all welcome to join, and I would love to hear from you guys. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.